Anyways, Jack Smith indicted. This is pretty big. Pretty big. Unfortunately, there was not a whole lot he could do because Merrick Garland never wanted to fucking prosecute Trump. But let's take a look. Let's take a look what he was saying.
Trump has a playbook for how he handles people who try to hold him accountable. In August 2023, right after your office indicted him, President Trump shared that playbook on social media for everyone to see. He wrote, "If you go after me, I'm coming for you." Trump has said that you, Mr. Smith, should be investigated and put in prison. He called you a disgrace to humanity, a radical left Marxist, a criminal. In fact, Trump has used the words deranged Jack Smith 185 times on Truth Social. How do you think that these statements have impacted you, your staff, and your investigation?
Sorry, I was messing with the audio.
With respect to me, I think the statements are meant to intimidate me. I will not be intimidated. I think these statements are also made as a warning to others what will happen if they stand up. And I am, as I say, I'm not going to be intimidated. We did our work pursuant to department policy. We followed the facts and we followed the law, and that process resulted in proof beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed serious crimes. I'm not going to pretend that didn't happen because he's threatening me.
And Mr. Smith, do you believe that President Trump's Department of Justice will find some way to indict you?
I believe that they will do everything in their power to do that because they've been ordered to by the president.
So that's just great. Lovely. We're indicting Jack Smith. Jack Smith was the one that led the what's it called? Investigation. Oh my
Jack
god.
Smith is
Yeah. He led the investigations against Trump for mishandling those documents, the ones that were in Mar-a-Lago on the bathroom. I've seen how the rule of law can erode. My fear is that we have seen the rule of law function in this country for so long, and many of us come to take it for granted. Smith said in his testimony. So he was called before the House Judiciary Committee, by the way. It's pretty obvious that Trump is going to want to go after Jack Smith. I mean, he's been going after every single opponent or outspoken advocate against him.
Chairman Jordan, Ranking Member Raskin, members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to discuss my work as special counsel. I love my
On Truth Social's Thursday, Trump called Smith a deranged animal who shouldn't be allowed to practice law. The president said he was hoped that Attorney General or AG Pam Bondi is looking at what he's done, including some of the crooked and corrupt. And Pam Bondi is the absolute fucking lunatic who endorsed ICE killing that woman in Minnesota. A big price should be paid for them to put the country through. Former special counsel told committee members that investigation developed beyond a reasonable doubt that Trump engaged in a criminal scheme to overturn his 2020 election loss, leading to a riot at the U.S. Capitol. So that was part of Jack Smith's investigation as well. And the thing about it is Garland literally did nothing with any of this. Garland could have arrested Trump, by the way, the entire time under Biden. And I genuinely have no fucking idea why. I have no idea why Garland did not arrest Trump or make a move to arrest Trump or indict him federally. Representative Jamie Raskin, ranking member of the House Committee, said Trump believes Smith belonged in prison not because he done anything wrong, but because he did everything right. So yeah, Democrats are going to be backing Jack Smith pretty heavy here, which is good, but U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon, Trump's lackey, dismissed the case, ruling that Smith's appointment had been illegal. Smith dropped the election case after Trump was reelected in 2024, citing Justice Department policy against prosecuting sitting presidents, plus the presidential immunity thing that the Supreme Court went through. During the closed-door deposition before the committee in December, Smith said Trump had a right to spread falsehoods, but not tried to defraud the government by using those falsehoods to stay in office. Smith said never forget that 140 law enforcement officers were injured in the Jan 6 riot, which followed Trump's speech on the ellipse near the White House. Some of those officers were in the audience Thursday. Rather than accept his defeat, the 2020 presidential election, Trump engaged in a criminal scheme to overturn the results and prevent a lawful transfer of power. Yeah, and Trump has obviously pardoned most of the Jan 6ers, which I mean, personally, headcanon, and it's probably what happened, but a lot of ICE agents are probably Jan 6ers.
Special counsel Jack Smith is testifying publicly for the very first time today, speaking to Congress about his investigations into now President.
Also, sorry if I sound a little sick. I'm a little congested today. I'm a little congested. Should turn up my volume if I'm congested. Is that good, chat? Is that better? Am I too loud?
Donald Trump. In his
Yes,
opening
Aries
statement,
News.
Smith said that he stands by his decision to bring charges against the president for allegedly preventing the, quote, lawful transfer of power.
Our investigation developed proof beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump engaged in criminal activity.
The Republican-led Judiciary Committee is questioning Smith about the now closed criminal investigations into Donald Trump from 2022.
It's so fucking frustrating that Democrats are defending Jack Smith now, but nobody pushed Merrick Garland to persecute Trump.
The probes looked into Trump's role in allegedly attempting to overturn the 2020 election and his handling of classified documents. Now, Trump, of course, has denied.
And the reason why Merrick Garland didn't push on Trump was because I guarantee the Biden admin was like, oh, well, we all have to be respectful to each other, which is some stupid fucking bullshit.
Wrongdoing. He even called Smith's efforts a politically motivated witch hunt. NBC News senior national political reporter Sahil Kapoor joins us now from his post there at Capitol Hill. Sahil, the former special counsel really made sure to emphasize that no one, even
I turned 19 before midterms.
is above
Well,
the law in our country.
that's you
What
can
else
vote
did
then.
he say
You'll be
very
18.
pointedly in his testimony today?
Yeah, that's right, Morgan. A couple of standout takeaways here. Jack Smith emphatically stood by his decision to bring criminal charges against former President Trump. Said he has spoken to this, the House.
I'm not surprised that Jack Smith defended his decision
in his
either.
view, there was proof beyond a reasonable doubt that Donald Trump engaged in criminal activity to defraud the United States.
Why the
overturn
fuck?
2020 election.
Do you guys hear that little popping, or is that just me? It's really fucking annoying.
To stay in power after he lost that election. Jack
Do you hear that? That's so fucking annoying.
Smith also said he urged Americans not to take the rule of law for granted. This moment stood out as well from his opening remarks. He said the rule of law is not self-executing, that it depends on a collective commitment among the populace to apply it.
I agree, Mr. Smith. I agree. And Merrick Garland did not uphold the law. We could have arrested Trump, by the way. We absolutely could have arrested
Trump.
Trump.
The attacks on the Justice Department were unjustified. Trump, of course, called for his prosecution ever since he won the 2024 election and the January 6th case was dissolved. Jack Smith maintained all throughout that he was simply following the facts, following the law. At one point, the ranking Democrat on this committee, Jamie Raskin, said, rebutting Republican claims here, said Trump had no First Amendment defense here, that, as Raskin said, there's no First Amendment free speech right to commit fraud.
You know, Sahil, the Republicans have also been very clear and emphatic in calling Smith's work partisan. So what did you see today in terms of how they sort of focus their questioning and ultimately what they're trying to put on display in this hearing?
Yeah, the Republicans in this committee hearing were overwhelmingly defending President Trump, carrying and echoing his narrative that this was all a political.
And also, not calling out Trump for any of this shit either, by the way. Completely ignoring the fact that Trump is making an illegal persecution of Jack Smith. Or an unnecessary persecution of Jack Smith, which is wasting time and voter money. What the fuck are we doing? And also giving credence to the fact that Jack Smith could be wrong when it is very clear that Trump attempted to overturn the 2020 election.
Political witch hunt against the former president. This was preceded, of course, at this hearing by Speaker Mike Johnson. Take a listen to what he said.
Answers that have been, I think, long overdue. I think he weaponized the system. I think he did what could be permanent damage to the perception of justice in America.
I wish he
And
would have
the
done
chairman of
more.
this committee, Jim Jordan, said it was always about politics. And in Jordan's view, the American voters saw through it in 2024 when they sent Donald Trump back to the White House. Now, moments ago, Jack Smith also denied, in the face of questions by Republicans, that he spied on any lawmakers as part of the record collection process here. Asked if he had any regrets, Jack Smith said his only regret was not being more appreciative of his staff and all the hard work that they did. Morgan.
From the halls of Capitol Hill, Sahil Kapoor for us. Sahil, thank you.
It's kind of exhausting listening to mainstream news talk about this shit. Like, can we not like call Trump out for being absolutely? Yeah, can you shut up? Can we not call him out for being absolutely fucking insane? Trump, not Smith. Like even a question of like we're not sure why Trump is doing this. There's no evidence to prove it. Would completely fucking like all of this would crumble. Kind of is an understatement. Yeah, I mean, especially after the shit in what was it, Denmark or Sweden the other day? We covered it on stream. That was insane. I'm actually not surprised that Jack Smith though is defending his actions. Who, Jasmine Crockett? Hold on, I didn't realize Jasmine Crockett.
Can I get an extra 33 seconds?
You get your full 5 minutes.
Well, okay, fine. It's curious because you've sat here all day, and thank you so much for showing up because this was something that you wanted to do. The Republicans wanted to make sure that you were hid in a room with no cameras because I was there. They didn't really want you out public because they were afraid of what you
And we
would
don't
say,
like Jasmine
which is that
Crockett.
You could have proven your case because you are a career prosecutor who knows how to prosecute criminals. So just to be clear, today it seems like the Republicans have not really fought very much about whether or not Trump was guilty or not. In fact, their fight seems to be over whether or not you were authorized to prove their guilt. Do you recall a number of Republican members asking about whether or not your appointment was okay, even though we know that you've testified about the more than 100-year precedent that allowed for your appointment?
I was asked questions about that today, and our position, as we filed in our appeal, is that there was strong support for my appointment, including Supreme Court precedent directly on point.
Thank you so much. Additionally, everybody's been all gingerly here today, but I don't know why we're acting surprised that a man who had close to 90 allegations out of 4 different jurisdictions and ultimately ended up with 34 convictions after a jury was able to hear all the evidence.
No, Smith isn't dodging questions. Yeah, Smith is directly answering the questions too.
A criminal act on January 6th. In fact,
I'm not super upset with the way that she's phrasing these questions as a way of showing how ridiculous this all is.
considering the fact that we are now under the impression that he is violating people's due process rights, he is ignoring court orders. He's starting wars without congressional authority in contradiction to the Constitution. He's enriching himself to the tune of over $1.4 billion. He's shaking down electeds to draw maps that will help him stay in power because the Republicans don't understand that they swore an oath to the Constitution.
She's spitting
and that
facts
we're
right now.
supposed to do
That's
checks
true.
and balances.
But she also she was not spitting facts with her illegal immigrant take.
He's also shaking down TV stations to get money. So why are we trying to pretend as if it is out of the realm for this particular man to commit the crime that he committed on January 6th? And frankly, the only reason he ran for president was to make sure that he would not be prosecuted, because I fully believe that you would have put him under the jail based on our long-form conversation that we had. But according to your special counsel report on page 137, it states the department's view that the Constitution prohibits the continued indictment and prosecution of a president is categorical and does not turn on the gravity of the crimes charged, the strength of the government's proof, or the merits of the prosecution. And that, quote, but for Mr. Trump's election and imminent return to the presidency, the office assessed that the admissible evidence was sufficient to obtain and sustain a conviction at trial. In other words, Donald Trump ran for president, like I said, so he wouldn't have to spend the rest of his life in prison.
Yep.
The chairman...
That's pretty true. Trump was going to be out of office at one point eventually. I don't know. He looks... Dude, when he was speaking... Where the fuck was he speaking? At that, World Economics Committee or whatever? He sounded bad. We are being run by a fucking lunatic. Like I think Trump will die in office.
And other
Det-
members of
he was not in Detroit. Wait, was that in Detroit? No, that wasn't in Detroit. No, the Detroit thing was a different thing. What am I thinking of? World Economic Forum. No, the World Economic Forum was not in Detroit. No, this was also an economics thing. Don't chat. Yeah, I know the Detroit thing. Me when chat doesn't listen to Emmy. Okay. Yeah. Rule of law is not self-executing. It depends on our collective commitment to apply it. Will never apply to Democrats, by the way. This is also another reason why we need Democrats. Well, we need Republicans out first and foremost, and then we need a new wave of Democrats. If we get Democrats, especially like Gavin Newsom, if Gavin Newsom is our next presidential candidate, like this shit will happen over and over and over again. Neoliberal Democrats, think tank, consultant group Democrats are the reason why Jack Smith right now is being persecuted by Trump. Merrick Garland had no reason not to attack Trump. Didn't attack Trump. Trump or the Democrats didn't give people anything to vote for in 2024. They're genuinely so fucking stupid sometimes. It's so frustrating. We need 1 million. I'm calling upon the world to give me 8 trillion Mamdanis. Please give me 8 trillion Mamdanis.